Good morning, Dean D. Davison, liveweatherblogs.com student meteorologist with the overnight edition. Lots to get to tonight. This is going to probably be at least a 5 minute show tonight. We're looking at a few things tonight that make it interesting. We have our severe weather outlook like normal. Every night we'll be definitely giving you a severe weather outlook through the rest of the severe season. And then in the winter, we're going to change it over to a more of a winter weather outlook. Flood watches are up in the mid-Atlantic through Virginia mainly at this point. And we have the tropics to take a look at. Getting a little bit more active, and it will continue to do so. And we'll look at the Roanoke Valley forecast, which includes a lot of rain. And we'll have the brand new Davison risk factor, something I'm doing right now. It's going to tell you the risks for severe weather, and that'll be under the severe weather section. And that will include flooding. So we're going to go into that for different selected cities in the mid-Atlantic. Let's get to it with our severe weather outlook. Looking at the storm reports today, there's not many storm reports. We had a few up here in the top of Minnesota. We had a few down here in Texas, one in South Carolina, one in California, a few here in Arizona where they had a windstorm today. Some micro downbursts from storms caused some dust problems, some dust storms. And we also had some other issues going on there with possible flooding. And we also had some hail reports up in Oregon, different places you're not used to hearing storm reports from. Let's take a look at today's severe weather forecast. You can see where we have today's severe weather potential up here in Minnesota, parts of South Dakota, North Dakota. We'll look at the risk factor momentarily. We also have a little area with isolated potential here in Utah, Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. Looking at Thursday, we have this is going to be a better selection, a better possibility, especially with tornadic activity, with the jet stream coming down here in Minnesota, Nebraska, and South Dakota. We'll look at that as the risk factor also. So we're going to look at Davison risk factor. This is for tomorrow. This is for later today. Damaging winds, hail are the main threat for Wednesday for South Dakota, North Dakota, and parts of Minnesota. I'm given hail 60% probability of occurring and 80% for winds, so the winds are going to be the main threat, and an isolated tornado with 20% in the tornadic field. We're going to look at now Thursday's risk factor. High winds, hail, and tornadoes for Nebraska, Minnesota, South Dakota, and far south North Dakota. Winds, I'm giving a 90 percentile. We're expecting damaging winds, 75 percentile on the hail, and a 70% chance of tornadoes. So I'm saying that the tornadic probability is going to be a lot higher come Thursday with the potential with the jet stream, the low-level jet, and everything else kicking into play. Looking at our Davison risk factor for flooding, and this is going to be over through Friday, rain potential. So there's going to be flooding potential in the areas that I outlined. We're going to go to a radar here after this part of the risk factor. We're looking at Roanoke, Richmond, and Sterling, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches of rain. Baltimore, 2 to 4 inches of rain. Washington, D.C., 1 to 3. Atlantic City, 3 plus. We've had a lot of rain today. And I see when we look at QPF also, you'll see why I'm saying this. 3 plus for Atlantic City, 2 to 4 inches for Philadelphia, 3 inches plus for Wilmington, 3 inches plus for Cape May, and 1 to 2 inches of Boone, North Carolina. But it being in the mountains, it's a probability of some runoff, flash flooding, and locally heavy amounts more than 5 inches possible over the next 2 days. Our radar here at 2 o'clock in the morning shows most of the rain right now in Virginia, and Roanoke's back here, so we've gotten out of the heaviest amounts of rain. It'll redevelop tomorrow along the stationary front. We also, so majority of it's going to be in Charlottesville. It's going to be in Richmond, up here in Fredericksburg, near the Maryland-Virginia border. Lots of heavy rain, some scattered thunder showers, also here in Maryland and far southern Delaware. Looking at the quantitative precipitable forecast, or the QPF, over the next 2 days, 2.4 inches. This is in Delaware, so that's why I'm saying the probability of 5 inches plus over the next 2 days is possible. Like we drew before, these areas in Virginia up through New Jersey are the highest probabilities for highest amount of precipitation. We also got another section now back in Tennessee, and of course with the remnant low here in Louisiana. Surface map takes a look at about 6 a.m. We're going to see that low pressure getting closer to New Jersey shore. This is going to make the rain heavier, and it's going to stall out across the Appalachians, which is going to give places like Roanoke and places like Charlottesville a lot of rain. That's why the amounts are where I have them. Moving into Thursday, not much of a change. You can see where we're looking at this. Just the same general area as we had today, with trough moving through the northeast, severe weather moving a little further to the east, and this trough setting up in the Midwest. And moving into Friday, you can see the high pressure trying to build into this area. Might set off some showers or thunder showers up in New Jersey and parts of New England, with a trough before the next front kicks in, and one trough also sit in central Nebraska, which may increase the probability of thunderstorms development. Looking at our tropical update, the storm potential low. National Hurricane Center says low near Hispaniola. When we look at the satellite, you're not going to be too impressed with what this looks like, but it still has a low probability. They're saying about 20% for development. We got to watch some of the stuff coming off Africa in the next half a week or so for potential development. Looking at that water vapor image, you see still that dry air entrenched here east of the islands. Tropical wave out in the intertropical convergence, and this is what they're looking at. There's a broad area of low pressure sitting there, but not a lot of thunderstorm development around. So not a huge threat. That's why they have such a lower threat to this probability. Taking a look at our forecast here for the Roanoke Valley. Heavy rain with a flood watch, 85 degrees. Rain ending Thursday, 83. Partly sunny Friday, looking to a nice weekend, 88. 85 Saturday, and 88 Sunday. Partly sunny skies throughout. The lows are going to get in the 60s. Going to be a little more comfortable starting after Friday. Keep track of us here at liveweatherblogs.com. We got a few great blogs going on here. Mike Masco has his East Coast hurricane threat. Definitely something you should look at here on the site. He goes in depth into what he thinks, and our thinking here at liveweatherblogs.com is with some of the advanced computer models. We're going to also look at some other meteorologists here at liveweatherblogs.com. We have Mike DeFino. He also writes a great blog and very, very clear into rain and severe weather. I always give Mike DeFino props because of what he does. And like I said, he's outlining what he sees on his blog here. And a lot of this is for one day counteracts with what I have to say. We work well as a unit here at liveweatherblogs.com, and we usually have a lot of the same thoughts. Other is Bob Acanfrio. He always does a tropical update. You have to look at these tropical updates that Bob does. He has an awesome, awesome, awesome thing. And also, Rob Garino always puts out a great blog. You know, he's the mastermind behind this site, and also talking about membership. You can become a member with these free things and higher placement in blogs, guaranteed placement in our chat room, and memberships, gold memberships, and red star memberships. Everything coming with liveweatherblogs.com in the next couple months. So please if you haven't seen our site, come to our site, take a look at it. It's really good stuff. You need to really look into this. It's great stuff here, and a lot of stuff from Delaware Valley, a lot of stuff from around the area, and I covered the Roanoke Valley a lot. So definitely come in to our site and take a look sometime. It's really a great thing. Dean D. Davison, liveweatherblogs.com. Have a great evening.